energy giant wants to move its downtown New Orleans headquarters to the newest neighborhood on the bank of the Mississippi River.
Andres Fuentes has more details about the River District.
Right now, a patch of land next to the Montreal Convention Center is nothing but fenced-off grass lots. But city developers, leaders, and investors want to transform this barren 40 acres into a new neighborhood.
This is a transformative day, a very exciting day.
Mock-ups show the upcoming River District, the city's soon-to-be newest neighborhood, offering more than 1,000 living spaces, retail and dining areas, offices, and even Topgolf and a music and heritage museum.
I am especially excited about the River District's commitment to promoting economic development, affordable housing, public transit, and of course, creating new amenities.
The goal is to have a new space in the city that promotes a modern way of living on par with other cities across the United States. And developers say New Orleans will reap the benefits.
$43 million in annual tax revenues, $1 billion in annual economic activity, 9,000 construction jobs, 6,000 permanent jobs.
Now, developers tell me that these 40 acres are going to be a lot more than a place where people can live, work, and have a little slice of New Orleans. They tell me that Shell is actually moving their offices from Poydras Street to right here.
We're always looking for opportunities for how we can continue to grow the energy needs of our population.
Shell says the new building will be state-of-the-art and will be home to 800 employees.
They've been here for 100 years, and they've been here in a robust way. And I think today signals that we're well on the way to having them here for another 100 years.
And we think it'll be a great attraction, both for our employees, for other people to come, as well as for visitors to this area.
Reporting in New Orleans, Andres Fuentes, Fox 8, Local First.